Welcome back, everybody, to AMC 10B problem 24 from 2006. We're given two circles O and P, and we have externally tangent points A and D, B and C, and that the radii of the two circles, are 2 and 4 respectively. We're trying to find the concave area of AOBCPD, and that's just simply this region right here. So when we want to solve areas for a given geometry problem, it's always or generally a good idea to separate it into easily calculable areas. And in this case, what jumps out at me is being able to draw these few lines right here. And how I knew how to draw this line simply comes from experience, and that the more practice you get, the better you will be at identifying certain lines that you must draw to help yourself. So these will obviously be perpendicular to PC and DP respectively. And once we do this, we separate this area into a right triangle and a rectangle. Now, what is the area of a right triangle? That's just the base times height over 2. And what is the area of a rectangle? Well, that's just equal to the width times the length. So let's do that. We're given that this radii is 2 and this radii is 4. Well, since if AD, and let's call this E, ADEO is a rectangle, then what does DE have to be? Well, that segment must be 2. Likewise, EP has to be 2 as well, because 4 minus 2 is 2. And since these two shapes are congruent, this must be 2, this must be 2, and this must be 2. Now, what can we know about OP segment? Well, OP segment is simply the radii of O plus the radii of P. So that's just simply 2 plus 4 gives 6. So if we draw out this diagram in a much more clearer manner, and this is O, this would be E, this would be P, then OE will definitely be, we don't know it, so let's call this X as a variable. OP we know because we just solved it as 6, and EP we just found to be 2. So right triangle from Pythagorean theorem, X will be equal to the square root of 36 minus 4, will give root 32, which is equal to 16 times 2, which is equal to 4 root 2. So that means OE, which is also AD, will be equal to 4 root 2. And with that, we basically solved the problem, because now we can solve the area of the rectangle. The rectangle will be equal to 4 root 2 times 2 gives 8 root 2. Now, the right triangle will give the area of 2 times the height 4 root 2 divided by 2, which gives 4 root 2. Sum them up and you get 12 root 2. Now, since we have two of these shapes, we must multiply this by 2 to give 24 root 2. And if we look at our answers, we see that answer choice B is our answer.